The coffee pot's on, the welcome mat's out. We know what RVing's all about.
Hi, I'm George Sutton of George M. Sutton RV, located right here in Eugene, Oregon. You may have seen my wife Martha and me on a billboard, or on TV, or heard our catchy jingle on the radio. But I'd like to tell you a little bit more about who we really are. To begin, I'm the third George M. Sutton in my family to be in business. My grandfather and namesake opened his Ford dealership in a sleepy little town called Inglewood, California, back in 1921. In those days, there was only one road from Los Angeles, as it was way out in the country. However, his foresight was brilliant. It didn't take long for Inglewood to become the fastest growing city in America during the Roaring '20s. My grandfather was also involved in his community. He was elected the first president of the Chamber of Commerce. He was instrumental in having Ford fly in and land their tri-motor airplane in a barley field. There's a picture of that amazing historical moment here on our website. You see, today that barley field is now the Los Angeles International Airport we all call LAX. Also in the 1920s, my dad was born. His early years were reminiscent of the kids in those great old movies called Spanky and Our Gang. I know it because my grandfather took home movies, which Dad passed on to me. But times soon changed. The Great Depression came along and they struggled to keep their Ford dealership open. Dad said those were tough years for my grandparents, but they succeeded. The Ford dealership was the only car dealership to survive. All the others in town went out of business. In 1948, my grandfather passed away, and Dad became the youngest Ford dealer in America. That was a huge task for a 24-year-old, but he succeeded. He was innovative, including promotions with Dinah Shore and Tennessee Ernie Ford. He even attended the National Prayer Breakfast where Vice President Nixon spoke. Dad was involved in many other events too. These included being president of the YMCA, supporting civic groups, sitting on the board of Westmont College, the Union Rescue Mission, and Hollywood First Presbyterian Church. In 1948, Life magazine featured Hollywood First Press in a lengthy article that also pictured Dad in one scene with his young family. Oddly enough, I am the baby being baptized. In 1953, my parents took us all to Europe. Because Europe was still recovering from the bombings of World War II, our young family really stood out everywhere we went. Those folks were not used to seeing the colorful clothing that we wore. As long ago as that was, I still have vivid memories of that trip. In 1956, Mom was chosen as the representative of the American housewife in another feature article in Life magazine. We had the famous photographer Rudy Crane live with us for over 3 weeks. In 1958, Time magazine did a follow-up article about our family. That was also the year Dad sold the family Ford dealership. In 1964, Dad took us all to Europe again. This time we not only drove throughout Europe, but we also toured the Holy Land. That was the trip of a lifetime because we went to places Americans just can't visit today. In 1970, I graduated from Woodbury College in Los Angeles. I was fortunate to work my way through school selling used cars. Over the next 25 years, I was taught my trade by some very great people. My last sales job was in 1974. The rest of the time, I was able to learn all departments while in management. In 1996, Dad and I decided that we would pool our resources and open up the RV dealership that exists today. We started out small, on the very corner that we occupy today. We grew with the times and expanded until Y2K came along. That recession almost wiped us out, but we learned a difficult lesson that would be vital to our survival in future years. At the time, we were selling new motorhomes. Motorhomes can be the quickest way for an RV dealer to go out of business when the economy slows down. It took hard work and long hours for us to bring our business back from those dark days, but we did it. We enjoyed success up until the great meltdown of 2008. When that happened, we were not burdened with motorhomes and thus were able to survive once again. Business owners are often surprised when I share how good the last 5 years have been. We have succeeded because of our focus on travel trailers, truck campers, and just a few fifth wheels. We also enjoyed huge success selling Airstreams. Many of those competing dealerships did not survive, and it left us with a very responsive market. Once again, we have expanded on all fronts. Our service and parts departments are busting at their seams. We carry 250 RVs in stock spread over several acres of land. Our market has flip-flopped from what used to be 75% of our buyers from beyond 100 miles to the exact opposite. Customers feel like they know us and can trust us. George M. Sutton RV has weathered many storms and adjusted to changing market conditions. Our inventory includes something for everyone, from our little tiny teardrop units to our huge multi-slide residential vehicles, which are so beautiful. And let me tell you a little bit about what our dealership does for you to carry on our family tradition. Whether you know it or not, when you buy an RV, there are going to be issues that need to be addressed. It is often said that an RV dealership is the last 40 feet of the assembly line. We take that responsibility seriously. Before an RV leaves our lot, we inspect it, we test it, and we repair issues to make sure your first experience with your new RV is a positive one. My grandfather and dad would be proud of that, knowing that we put customer satisfaction ahead of everything else at our dealership because we do business the way it's supposed to be done. As an RV shopper, you owe it to yourself to come visit. I can honestly say it just doesn't get any better. Our people are nice, our products are great, and our prices are terrific. Remember, the name of our store is George M. Sutton RV, but it's not about me, it's about you and how we carry on the tradition my grandfather and dad established. Come see us. You're going to like it here.
The coffee pots on, the welcome mats out. We know what RVing's all about. Living each day at your own pace, moving down the road from place to place. We can make your dreams come true in your very own RV. Come by, we're easy to find. 6th and 7th at 99 at George and Sutton. You're gonna